Welcome, everyone, to the Tethys Shipyards. I am Takeshi Yamato, the Yardmaster, joining our host, the Housecoat Gamer.
Yo.
Today, we are discussing the Senator class starship, another Romulan starship from the TMP era Starfleet Command.
In general, this is regarded as a counterpart to the Constitution class. The Tethys is a much lighter warship,
Yeah,
so this serves the same general role. Introduced in the late 2270s for that specific purpose, as part of a new design family, the Ornith design program. You can guess what that name means.
Ornith, probably related to a bird.
That is, in fact, I believe, the Latin word for bird.
Ah,
As something of an expert in dinosauria, well, ornithomimus, bird mimic.
yeah.
Regardless, the Senator class was designed to pretty much serve the same role as the Connie. There's just one problem. It's a lot lighter than the Connie, and is partially based off the Tethys engineering section, as you can see from, well,
Yeah.
it does not make it any less effective, however. And while it's regarded as a light cruiser and a command vessel, it is relatively heavily armed with a new weapons system specifically designed by the Romulans. A heavy plasma beam cannon, which Starfleet and Klingon personnel have decided to nickname the Mauler.
Ah.
During the hot conflicts of the 2280s and early 90s, the Mauler-equipped vessels of the Senator class were generally feared.
Yeah.
However, due to the fact that this contained it drained a lot of power, it was typically not used unless it was desperately required against vessels like, say, the Excelsior class, which outgunned it significantly.
Yeah.
By the time it was retired, during the 2330s, it was generally obsolete, replaced by ships like the Archif, Delan, and of course, the Diderix class.
Yep. And you can definitely see the start of that design philosophy.
This is subtle, but there's more overt examples, which we will also be taking a look at. Anyway,
Yes. Anyway, stats. Late 2270s, you said.
yep,
Uh, so 2279?
2276.
All right. 2276. And crew size.
A moment. Had to look up the size of the boat. She's longer than the Connie, but the same mass.
Yeah. And she has, and according to the book, to what he's uncovered, she also has a crew of 300 or so. And crew size is the typical Star Trek Adventures scale thing. So so anything from 100 to 400 is scale 4, the benchmark. So okay, so we have 47 points to work with. And the we're starting with 7 points in everything, and I've added an extra point each into comms, and sensors, as those are, well, they are the Romulan staple. They are the Romulan focus. So we have comms 8, computer 7, engine 7, sensors 8, structure 7, weapons 7. We got 3 more points we can add, and then we can make further adjustments.
Due to the existence of the Mauler, power would have to be something of a requirement.
Right. We'll put engines up to 8. I think maybe sensors up to 9.
Same with computers. Again, this is a Romulan ship.
Right. Yeah, computers up to 8. So currently we have comms 8, computers 8, engines 8, sensors 9, structure 7, weapons 7. I think that looks good.
I'd take a part away from structure and send it to weapons. Again, the Mauler.
Fair enough. So structure down to 6, weapons up to 8. Alright, now we get into departments. Standard thing here, 3-point modifier, 3 points modifiers. We can't put more than 2 in any one department. Say at least a point in security and a point in command.
This typically does serve as a command ship.
Yep. And let's put that at the last point into science.
Again, sensors. It's a Romulan ship.
Yep. Alright. So now we get into space frame talents. And technically cloaking device counts as a talent, but all Romulan ships have cloaking devices, so this thing is so I technically use it as a special rule for them.
The Mauler.
Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to special rules proper. I'm just mentioning that because cloaking device is technically a talent. I'm just using it as a special rule. So talents. These are just basic space frame equipment type stuff. So like
Isn't command ship one of those? I remember it being one of those.
Yeah, command ship is one of those. I suppose we can add that because it is typically one, no matter what the mission profile. Okay. So command ship, we could probably add one more. Electronic warfare systems?
It's Romulan.
Command ship, electronic warfare systems. Alright. Now, before we get into the special rules, we'll get into the weapons. Standard, I figure this thing has disruptor banks.
Standard Romulan fare. Disruptor banks, disruptor cannons, plasma torpedo of doom.
Disruptor banks.
And, of course, the Mauler.
Cannons.
I'm going to keep mentioning that because that is a very unique Romulan weapon.
Yeah. So we're going to cover that both as a weapon and a special rule. We'll start by, you said it's like a big plasma cannon?
A plasma beam cannon. Not quite lance, but stronger than standard overloaded phaser banks.
Right. So, let's see. Does this thing cover plasma? It does not say plasma. Does not have plasma weapons be types of energy weapons. Okay, we're going to need to improvise. All right. I'll just put in the Mauler. See special rules. All right. So, like special rules, cloaking device, and typical hyper-focused plasma torpedoes for the Red Death torpedo.
This usually does pack the Type R torpedo. The
Yeah,
Red Death.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I remember hearing it called that once in a Star Trek Online fanfic, and it's kind of stuck. The Red Death torpedo.
It is what it is.
Yeah. All right.
Dope.
Now for the Mauler.
I presume there are rules for overloaded weapons.
Let's see. I I'm not I'm not seeing them quite in the. They probably are, but they're not in Utopia Phoenicia, which I'm looking at. It's probably like an action to overcharge them or something. But
Well, a step above overcharged weapons, but below spinal lances.
right. Okay. So this weapon is probably going to be a unique one.
A unique Romulan one. There are other ships
Yeah.
with maulers.
Yeah. So what we're going to. All right.
In fact, I
So
believe a fellow SFC fan by the name of Tirak described the Mauler as not a weapon mounted to a ship, but a ship mounted to a weapon.
all right. So let's see. First things first, we're going to need to figure out how it. Okay. The Mauler counts. The Mauler counts as a directed energy weapon with the following statistics. Stress rating equal to scale plus security plus 2. I'm giving it the cannon damage modifier because hey, here are the different weapon delivery types and how they modify energy weapons. Cannons, range of close, stress rating of increased stress rating by 2. Banks, medium range, stress rating by 1. Arrays, medium range, and when an attack is declared, the attacker may choose to grant either the area or spread weapon effect to the attack. And spinal lances, range of long, difficulty increased by 2 because, well, you have to aim the ship, and increased stress rating by 3. So I'm giving this the cannon damage modifier, but I'm also giving it the range of the spinal lance. Range of long.
Which is effectively how maulers work in SFC Orion Pirates.
Yep. Long range. And for it will have. Let's see. I will give this thing the persistent 4 stress effect because Plasma torpedoes give persistent 8. And while this thing is not a torpedo, it probably still has these typical plasma effects.
Oh, you have no idea.
So persistent 4 and weapon qualities. I would say give this I would say this thing will have high yield.
All the bloody time. Because it's a mauler.
Stress rating equal to scale plus security plus 2, long range, persistent 4, high yield. Alright.
Anywho, I think that covers the mauler. And of course, the usual descriptors. Command ship, Romulan warbird, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, command ship talent, electronic warfare systems talent, Romulan starship. Descriptor trait, Romulan starship. I think that's good.
Indeed it is. And we shall be moving up the murder tree, as it were.
Yeah.
Bye.